Yo, shut your mouth, you dirty little hamster.
You look like Popeye on crack in my face, jerk off.
Oh my god.
So let's be honest, Jersey Shore is never gonna win any awards for its cinematography, and a lot of people consider the show to be absurd and pretty trashy at times. But damn is it entertaining. If you think about it, Jersey Shore was actually revolutionary in the ways it depicted drinking and partying. It was really the first of its kind, and I think that's why so many people, including me, couldn't stop watching it when it first came out. I'm super excited for the new show to see how much everyone's changed over the years. And with that, here's 50 facts you didn't know about Jersey Shore. Jersey Shore was originally pitched as a competition show about who could live the most Guido lifestyle. There was even going to be elimination style challenges, which included fist bumping and tanning.
I'm tanorexic, bro.
Season 2 of the show almost had an entirely different cast. Producers weren't sure if they wanted to keep the original crew or not, so they started assembling an alternate cast just in case things didn't work out. The cast was only allowed one private phone call per week. The rest had to be filmed for the show.
Yes, that is situation. Capital SITUATILN. Like, see, you know,
whatever, man. What's the order?
To make sure the cast couldn't communicate off camera, producers forbid them from writing notes to each other. They had to say it on camera or not at all.
And I called the unit to call Gianni and tell him everything that fucking happened with you and Mike.
The cast was also forbidden from having cell phones while filming, pretty much forcing them to use the duck phone, which of course was always being recorded.
What the is that thing quacking? That's really weird. Quack, quack, quack.
The duck phone was actually a random find at a thrift store. And while shooting, cast members basically had zero contact with the outside world. Snooki once said, if the president died, we'd have no clue.
Oh, my is out.
To force them to interact more, they weren't allowed to read, watch TV, or listen to music. You know how the cast was always hanging out on their rooftop deck with the hot tub? Well, that deck wasn't actually on their roof. It was on the roof of the t-shirt shop next door. Filming took place in Seaside Heights because it was literally the only city in New Jersey that would let them film. As I'm sure you all saw, filming in later seasons proved to be a huge challenge, as wherever the cast went, massive crowds would follow them. It became so much of a problem that a security team was brought on to protect the cast in public and to keep the swarms of people away from them. Not only did people follow the cast in public, but police barricades had to be put up around the house because fans and paparazzi would wait outside at all hours, hoping to catch a glimpse of one of the stars. Cast members were required to give producers at least an hour's notice before leaving the house. No spur-of-the-moment trips were allowed. They were also never allowed to walk outside the house unless a camera crew was with them. Drinking alcohol was one of the few things that they were allowed to do. According to Snooki, that's why they did so much of it. While casting for the show, producers searched all over the tri-state area and eventually narrowed it down to 12 possible candidates. The final 8 were selected from that dozen just one day before filming began.
Women love me, babies love me, dogs love me.
Mike, I'm not kidding!
Deena actually auditioned for season 1 and was one of the 12 finalists, but she had it back out of consideration after her grandmother became ill. Deena was actually good friends with Snooki in real life. They'd already spent 2 summers on the shore together long before the show came along. In fact, Deena would frequently call Snooki while she was filming season 1 just to check in. A casting director claims that when Snooki came in for her audition, she was wearing so much bronzer that when she filled out the release, it was covered in orange fingerprints. When the show shifted from a competition series to a more lifestyle exploration show, they were still imagining an all-male cast. After Snooki auditioned, however, the producers became convinced that the cast needed to be split evenly between male and female contestants. The show was briefly titled Guidos and Guidettes before settling on Jersey Shore.
I'm going to Jersey Shore!
Executive producer Sally Ann Salsano actually lived in an upstairs apartment in the Jersey house. Salsano had a 14-camera feed screen in her living room and another one in her bedroom, so she could creep on the cast at all times. She was inspired to produce the show based on her own experiences sharing a Jersey Shore house with friends when she was younger. People are like, "You're making fun of them," and I'm like, "No, I am them." Sally Ann was also known for keeping close relationships with the cast members and their families. Snooki's dad used to call Sally Ann all the time while they were shooting, just to check up on his daughter. Mike Sorrentino's middle name is Paul, and he was born on July 4th. Pauly D's middle name is Michael, and he was born on July 5th. According to the New York Daily News, the cast was allegedly paid just a few $100s per episode for season 1. But for season 2, the cast got a big pay raise, $10,000 per episode. By the show's final season, some cast members were allegedly making well over $100,000 an episode. Though it's unconfirmed, Perez Hilton claims that Snooki, The Situation, and Pauly D earned the most at $150,000 an episode.
Yeah, buddy.
The show itself wasn't the cast's only source of income. At the height of the show's success, they were making up to $50,000 per personal appearance. Sally Ann would sometimes remind the cast that their fame would not last forever and encourage them to spend their money wisely. The show has inspired several international spin-offs, including in Russia, Spain, Mexico, and Poland. However, the most famous of them might be the UK version, entitled Geordie Shore. The show has run for 16 seasons and counting, seeing a new set of people every season, unlike Jersey Shore, which made an effort to keep the core group intact. In 2014, Mike Sorrentino was indicted on tax fraud along with his brother. They were both charged with not paying taxes on $8.9 million of income and are scheduled to be sentenced on April 25th. At the t-shirt shop, fans would actually line up for hours just to see the cast members. Producers only allowed a certain amount of people in at a time, and they were all instructed to act as normal as possible. After the instant popularity of Jersey Shore, many local residents were not too pleased with their state's portrayal on the show, especially because most of the cast didn't even live in Jersey. The biggest critic was probably Chris Christie.
They parachuted these losers into New Jersey.
Christie did everything in his power to make the filming of the show as difficult as possible, even going so far as to veto a $420,000 tax incentive that they were already given. The creator of Jersey Shore, Sally Ann Salsano, said that the set of the show was like a herpes nest. Salsano revealed that she handed out herpes medication like M&Ms. The worry of STDs was so severe that MTV included a clause in the contract that said they were not liable for any STDs contracted during production. Though it seems a bit extreme, an inside expert said that these types of clauses are only common for reality shows. Abercrombie & Fitch once offered to pay The Situation $10,000 a year to not wear their clothing. He declined, and then the company decided to make clothes with taglines from the Jersey Shore, including one that said GTL and The Situation. Mike took offense to that and sued them for $4 million, although he ended up losing that battle. When the gang was in Italy for the 4th season, they worked at a pizza place. You would assume that they all got jobs there, right? Well, as it turns out, that's not what happened. According to a story in the Daily Beast, MTV rented out the pizza place where everyone worked, and that's how they all conveniently got jobs there.
I mean, I just love Italy wine. Me and Deena just start chugging.
While the gang is in Italy, Vinny suggests that they go visit a museum, which wasn't exactly a typical outing for them, but they decide to go on the tour anyways. So, how exactly did this all come to be? Well, at first, Florence Mayor Matteo Renzi refused to allow them to tape inside the city's museums. But after MTV made a hefty donation to the Florentine Cultural Fund, they magically had no problems with letting them film. Jersey Shore Family Vacation is already scheduled for a 2nd season.
The Situation has become the inspiration.
When Jersey Shore ended in season 6, the show was still very much on top. It was MTV's most popular and profitable show back in 2012, and from a purely business standpoint, it didn't make a lot of sense to cancel it. But Sally Ann Salsano wanted the show to go out on top, and in addition, the cast wanted to grow up. Also, Snooki got pregnant in the final season, and they all couldn't rightly continue their partying ways, with one of its key stars becoming a mother. Snooki said that the whole process of filming Jersey Shore was like being in jail for 2 months, and every season of the show took anywhere from 30 to 50 days to shoot. PAULY is crushing it. During Jersey Shore, he was one of the highest paid cast members and was also the first to acquire his own spin-off show, the Pauly D Project. It never really took off, but that's okay, because his real money comes from DJing, as he signed a record deal with 50 Cent's G-Unit Records. PAULY has even opened for Britney Spears on the Femme Fatale tour. The self-proclaimed leader of the group, The Situation, actually used to work as an exotic dancer for All American Male, and even freelanced at bachelorette parties. But The Situation's dancing skills don't end there, as he competed on Dancing with the Stars, but was eliminated in the 4th round. Most importantly, however, Mike has been sober for over 2 years and is currently engaged to his college sweetheart. Sammy's sweetheart Giancola continued her on and off relationship with Ronnie after the show, but in 2014, they ended things for good. Sammy launched her own line of apparel, Sweetheart Styles, and has even had guest appearances on Project Runway and Makeover Manor to promote her fashion brand. She's the only one not coming on the family vacation, and I'd say that's probably in her best interest. Ronnie was featured on TNA's Impact Wrestling show in 2011. He appeared in 2 fights for the show and made some pretty impressive body slams while in the ring. But these days, Ronnie focuses instead on vitamin endorsements and his clothing line, Jersey Laundry. Snooki is now an official businesswoman. After Jersey Shore wrapped, she went on to release 5 books. But her prowess doesn't stop there. Snooki also opened a clothing store, hosts a weekly podcast, and runs an Etsy craft boutique. Rutgers University also paid her $32,000 to speak to students about being a celebrity and what she finds most important in school. A snippet of her advice: study hard, but party harder. Angelina, the loudmouth Staten Island native who appeared in seasons 1 and 2, is actually now working as an EMT in New York City, which is pretty surprising considering how she acted on the show. All I can say is, that's the last person I want to see if my life is in danger.
All of yous in this house are f***ing fake! And I want you all to know that I can't stand any of you!
This career change comes after her attempted singing career, most notably with her 2010 single, I'm Hot. Vinny was actually planning on going to law school if acting didn't work out. He had also recently graduated from the College of Staten Island before being cast in Jersey Shore. Afterwards, MTV gave Vinny his own talk show, which was called The Show with Vinny. JWoww's childhood dream was to work for Disney as a cartoon animator. She actually interned at Disney, but after learning how difficult it was, she instead opened a graphic design business. She transitioned this into a career in clothing design, which landed her on Jersey Shore. But JWoww's love for all things Disney did not end at the shore. In 2016, she debuted a sleeve tattoo featuring her favorite princesses, Belle, Ariel, Sleeping Beauty, and Cinderella. Deena appeared on Couples Therapy in 2014 and was also on several episodes of Snooki and JWoww. According to her Instagram, Deena works as a dog trainer and also recently just got married to her boyfriend, Christopher Buckner. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I gotta go. Cabs are here!